Applications of fire risk maps. Fire risk maps are essential tools in forest management, especially in the context of wildfire prevention, preparedness, and response. They leverage spatial data analysis to predict potential fire outbreaks, helping to minimize risks and impacts. Here is how these maps are applied across different stages of wildfire management. Wildfire prevention. Fire risk maps identify areas with high fire risk due to dense vegetation or dead material that can serve as fuel. These areas can then be targeted for fuel reduction practices, such as controlled burns, mechanical thinning, or removal of deadwood, thereby reducing the intensity and spread of potential fires. By highlighting areas of high risk, the maps inform the development of regulations and policies around land use, building codes, and fire breaks to prevent fire ignition and spread. They are also used in public awareness campaigns to educate communities about fire risk levels in their areas, promoting fire-safe behaviors and preparedness measures. Wildfire preparedness. Forest managers and emergency services use fire risk maps to allocate resources efficiently, planning where to station firefighting equipment and personnel in anticipation of higher fire risks. They help identify critical infrastructure at risk, such as power lines, roads, and residential areas, guiding the implementation of protective measures like clearing vegetation to create defensible spaces. High-risk areas identified on the maps are prioritized for evacuation planning, including designing escape routes and establishing safe zones for residents. Wildfire response. During wildfire events, fire risk maps guide the deployment of firefighting resources to the most vulnerable areas, optimizing response times and efforts. They can be updated in real time with data from weather stations, satellite imagery, and ground observations, providing dynamic risk assessments that inform ongoing firefighting strategies. These maps also facilitate coordination among various agencies involved in wildfire response, such as local fire departments, forestry services, and disaster response teams, by providing a shared operational picture of the fire risk landscape. Beyond immediate wildfire management, fire risk maps play a role in long-term forest ecosystem resilience. By guiding restoration and reforestation projects in high-risk areas, they help create landscapes that are more resistant to the spread of wildfires and capable of recovering more quickly after a fire event. Fire risk maps are pivotal in integrating wildfire risk considerations into forest management practices. They provide a scientific basis for decision-making across the continuum of wildfire prevention, preparedness, and response, ultimately aiming to safeguard lives, properties, and natural resources from the devastating impacts of wildfires.